We started it. You doing it?
You go.
Me go. It's always
the last one. Vitamins, do they actually do much? Who knows? I mean, Cocoa Pops has fortified vitamins. So it's like one portion of whey contains all the essential amino acids that you need. It does not need anything else. One steak, one egg, one everything. They all contain all 9 essential amino acids. It does not need that supplement.
I was literally about to make this point. I think people need to understand when you're supplementing with something, you're not replacing it. No. You are adding to what you're already doing. Yeah. I am currently drinking Scream Wash by the looks of it. And this is actually my BCAAs.
Why are you having BCAAs?
Welcome back to the Peak Collective podcast with myself, Shane.
Myself, Luca.
Where we chat no BS and just fitness. And we are back here today to talk through Fitness 101.
Let's go.
Talking about the basics, the things not everyone talks about in the fitness industry, where to start, some myths, what works, what doesn't work. So we've quick fired up 4 topics to talk about to try and answer some of your questions that we hear kind of on a daily basis on the gym floor, on social media, and kind of what people need answering.
Yeah, I think especially on the gym floor or clients.
Yeah.
What we've tried to do with this podcast in general, but just general questions people tend to ask on a day-to-day basis that I just hear over and over and over. And it's like, here's the video. Yeah.
This is the one that you just need to watch, and then this is it. So if you're going to come up and ask us, I'm going to send you the link to this and you can watch us and give us an extra view.
Yes.
On that count, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on these video, guys. We've got a few videos left till we are back in the studio. We're going to back recording, better topics, better interviews, and a better setup as well. So we've got a few more gym episodes coming in. And then we will revamp the whole way that you see this podcast. So make sure you are following the journey coming up to our 1-year anniversary and give us a follow down below.
Let's do it, guys. Right, Shane, what are we saying?
So we're going to go through topic number 1. So the most viewed one we see and hear about on a daily basis are the different types of protein / powders.
Yes, this is one that I wanted to kind of cover.
Yes.
Lactose intolerant myself. So I can't have lactose, which means I can't have whey protein.
Yes. Those of you who don't know, whey protein is like the bottom of milk.
Yes.
Like in the big canisters, the silver things, the powder left at the bottom is your whey protein.
It's the gold standard. It's the best protein you can literally get. It's the fastest digesting protein, above meat, above eggs, above everything. Mm-hmm. It absorbs insanely well. It contains every amino acid, and I can't have it.
That's the issue. And then when you're all buying fancy packaging and fancy flavours, and it's £45 for a kilo, it's basically free at the bottom of a milk container. So if you have a farm and a cow, it might be more efficient for you. It's up to you.
There's a good topic to bring up though. Is like whey protein. It's similar to like creatine. They'll have like premium whey protein powders. Honestly, just a whey isolate. Or just a gold standard whey, which is like 20-30 quid. Yeah, it's probably fine.
Literally, don't go wrong with the
ones basic. That charge way more. Very often, it's not much of a difference.
Not really. Some have like creatine in it. Some have like BCAAs in it, amino acids and stuff. But if you're looking for a protein supplement, whey protein, whey isolate that you said is going to be the best one for you to be picking.
Yes, but if you're like me, you can't have it. What's the alternative?
Yes.
So there's tons of other ones. You got casein, which is known as like the slow digesting protein powder.
I've always known casein to be like the nighttime protein.
Yes. I actually watched something the other day which kind of debunked that, which is nuts. Because again, that's another myth that's been around forever.
What?
Yeah. It's slower than whey.
Yeah.
But in comparison to food, it's still faster.
It's still my nighttime protein. Sorry.
But again, if you're looking for a supplement, you're like, I must have the casein at night and the whey in the morning, as an example. It's actually kind of a myth. Believe it or not, you're actually better off just eating some protein that will digest much slower in comparison to casein.
Everything's getting debunked.
Yes. Anyway, so you got casein, which is still a good protein source. Yeah. Just not as slow as people may think it is. Then you've got the vegan protein powders. There's a ton out there. Soy,
pea.
Soy, rice, pea. You got different types of seeds. You got hemp. The only issue is when you're vegan, hopefully if there's any vegans watching, you'll hopefully know this, is most vegan foods don't contain all 9 amino acids.
Yeah.
And this is where the difficulty kind of comes from. Which vegan protein powder should you choose? Soy is pretty good, unless you're soy intolerant, which some people are. And then also some people just kind of don't like having too much soy because of how it can kind of interfere with hormones and things like that. So what I typically stick with is a blend of rice and seeds. So rice contains a lot of amino acids. It doesn't contain all 9. So you do need to have some pumpkin seeds typically to kind of complete that, or peas will kind of blend with that. Beans are pretty good as well. So if you basically, if you want to go the vegan route, you need to make sure it's a blend. The only one out there is if it's a high concentrate of pea. Even then, the leucine in that is pretty low. So I'm getting a bit sciencey here.
Oh, good.
But the leucine in that is pretty low. It's still there, but it's not as high as it should be in comparison to like a whey. But you blend that with rice, or you blend that with seeds.
So when you say like you need to blend it, do you mean like blend it as in like there's a compound that you can buy that's a blended compound, or you mean you're going to add it to
No, so you should look at the back, and typically what you want to see is a vegan blend.
Right.
So it should literally have vegan protein in brackets, rice, pea, pumpkin seed, or hemp, rice, and pea. Something like that.
Any recommended brands?
The one
people are watching.
Pretty good because vegan protein tastes disgusting most of the time.
Yeah, if most of you would know by now, if you know me personally, I was vegan for a year.
Yes.
And they weren't amazing. I won't take any brands. Some are alright, like some protein shakes taste okay if you're used to the flavour. If you're not, especially, I mean, the milk one's not great, so the pea and rice ones are a little bit worse.
It's normally worse. This is not that. This is Form Performance Protein.
Yeah.
The ingredients are pretty good.
We'll tag them below or something.
Yeah, so they're not like got a ton of bad stuff in them, like some of them do. And the blend is perfect. It's got exactly the amount of amino acids that you want. And if I remember, they've also added some other just random supplements in there. If they do anything, who knows? What I'm having is the 30 grams of protein. It's like added vitamin A, vitamin this, vitamin that. The amount of studies that are kind of showing like fortified vitamins, do they actually do much? Who knows? I mean, Cocoa Pops has fortified vitamins. So it's like, how far is a piece of string? Like realistically, what you want a protein powder for is the protein, which is what you mentioned there. We can go on to, for me, and this may be controversial as well, I don't know, is useless supplements.
Yeah, 100%. Like the way I always say it to people is, why do you want the protein shake? We will go into a useless supplement. So why do you want the protein shake? Well, to up your protein intake. Well, can you eat it? No, I'm busy at work, I'm struggling, it costs so much, I'm not meal prepping, my precise amount. Cool. Then we can supplement the shake in. You don't want the protein shake for added vitamin A, vitamin K12, vitamin B12, whatever. You're getting it for your protein. So yes, you can have added fortified stuff in there, like you said.
Yeah.
If you're using a shake to up your protein intake, then that should be your natural instinct to look at the best absorbing protein that's going to work for you and any intolerance, and then backdate it from there. You don't want to start going, I'm going to get this because it's vitamins, blah, 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 but there's 9 grams of protein in it. Yeah. It doesn't really make sense.
There's no point. And then that leads on to, know how you mentioned like premium ones contain BCAAs, amino acids. If it's got all 9 essential amino acids, aka whey, it's already got.
You don't need your.
It's already got the BCAAs. It's already got the essential amino acids.
However, we are going to go to useless supplements, and I am currently drinking Scream Wash by the looks of it, and this is actually my BCAAs.
Why are you having BCAAs?
Just because it tastes better than water. Literally, people ask me, and people are saying, person, like, why are you drinking that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I drink water all the time.
True.
I will spend 20 quid to make it just taste a little bit nicer. And some people are like, but squash, blah. Yeah, but then it's sugar and you lot get fat because of it. So I'm not going to get fat because of this. So it just tastes a little bit nicer. Who doesn't want blue raspberry flavoured water?
I mean, heck, if you want the flavour, go for it.
Yeah.
But in the useless supplement category,
this is right here.
This is right down there.
It's actually like, I've seen it so many times. So I used to watch influencers on YouTube. You know, as you always do, what vitamins I take, what supplements I take a day, what vitamins I take a day, what I eat in a day as a gym influencer. So many of them back in the day would like, oh, I take BCAAs, but I don't look or perform any better because of them, but I have them to enhance what I'm doing. minus the 15, 16-year-old media probably on steroids. But, you know, this blue coloured drink is what the key was. And I've just brought it ever since.
Yeah, a lot of people, this is what I want to go on to, is like supplements that people still buy a lot of.
Yeah.
And it does nothing. So BCAAs are branched chain amino acids. So again, there are 9 essential amino acids we need. The branched chain is 3 of those 9. So you're already not having 9.
Like,
kind of useless.
You can then mix it with essential amino acids, but then it gets more expensive.
And also then we can move on to, if you're already eating protein, you're already having all essential amino acids. Yeah. So if you're drinking the essential amino acids, you're not actually doing anything else.
So I don't actually need this.
No. But again, we'll still buy this stuff.
Yep.
And again, if you want to flavour your water, you can flavour your water.
Yeah.
Cool. But if you're spending 20, 30 quid on essential amino acids or BCAAs a month for getting a premium protein powder because it's got essential amino acids added to it, one portion of whey contains all the essential amino acids that you need. It does not need anything else. One steak, one egg, one everything. They all contain all 9 essential amino acids. It does not need that supplement. The only time I would argue, potentially, is if you're vegan.
Yeah.
Or if you're someone that struggles with a high protein intake and you're not eating enough protein, then I would get essential amino acids, the EAAs. I still wouldn't get the BCAAs personally. But that's the only time I would suggest it. And the only reason being is, as we talked about before, with veganism, it's very hard to get all 9 amino acids and enough of those 9 amino acids. Versus animal products, fortunately, / unfortunately, for vegans, it contains everything that you need.
So I don't.
Sorry, mate.
So on the flip side, for those also watching, when would people drink BCAAs, or would you say EAAs are the way to be going?
Again, I wouldn't do either.
If you needed to,
unless you are vegan, most likely, or like some people have like kidney disorders.
Yeah.
Where they're not allowed to have too much protein, in which case maybe an essential amino acid may be helpful.
It helps you digest it, absorb it into your body a little bit better.
Apart from that, I genuinely don't see the point.
Yeah.
Personally.
I always stand on the fence with that. Like, I would never recommend to a client, an athlete, a friend to have BCAAs or EAAs unless it's like me. I don't mind spending 20 quid to get a flavoured water. There's no sponsor to this advert. I'm not sponsoring them. It's just, I just like the flavour.
And then moving on with creatine, right? An amazing supplement.
No, creatine is number 1.
Right, the best, obviously.
But
there's a lot of crap out there again.
Yeah.
Where creatine monohydrate is all you need. Which is like 10 quid for a tub.
I was literally going to agree with you. Creatine, people were like, oh, but I saw it on the shelf and it was like $26.99. I'm like, what are you buying?
Yeah.
Creatine monohydrate or creatine platinum plus, whatever it's called. It's in like a blue tub or something. Monohydrate is the cheapest one. It's the simplest form. It works. It will say 100% creatine monohydrate. If it's 100%, why are you buying something fancy that's apparently got something else added to it?
Yeah, it's normally flavouring.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like the flavour. In which case, I would just say just get the gummies or tablets if you don't like the flavour. Or, again, they'll add some amino acids.
Yeah, we'll add to it, yeah.
Or like some fortified vitamins to creatine, which is not even its role. Yeah. Again, creatine, amazing supplement. It's up there with the best, along with whey protein.
You know, creatine is actually the most safest and the most researched supplement on the planet.
I do.
I thought whey protein would be, but creatine's had a lot more advanced scientific research.
It was banned once upon a time, along with caffeine, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. And they're both performance enhancements.
Yep. I was watching, I think it was until the 90s, caffeine was banned in all sport.
Crazy. Could you imagine doing your sport without coffee now?
But it also shows how good a supplement caffeine is.
I think caffeine is underrated, but on topic.
We're on about the use of supplements.
So we're going to flip it.
In my opinion, this is controversial.
That's what I mean. I'm going to drink my stream wash.
The majority, I would say 80% of supplements are useless.
Yeah.
The only ones I actually suggest, if a client asks me, that the first thing I would say is you probably don't need the supplements.
100%.
But if someone was asking me, but I really want some supplements, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's look at your diet first. Now let's look at what ones I would suggest. Whey protein, if not, a blended vegan protein powder.
Yep.
Creatine monohydrate. omega-3s, especially if you don't eat a lot of fish, which most people don't.
That's what I take.
Same as here. That's the one. That and creatine are the two that I've always stuck with. Multivits to kind of cover yourself. I know there's a recent study that's kind of come out where it's kind of abolished multivits completely.
How are your multivitamins going for you? Yeah, I've seen it all.
Where they've basically said like it does nothing. But it's also unless you're actually low in that vitamin, like
it doesn't enhance anything.
No, and the majority of people that eat a balanced diet, aka eat some fruit, some veg, some meat, you're probably getting all the vitamins you need. You go first.
On the topic of that, so I've used, is it AG1? So I've used AG1 and then Real Greens as well. So Real, RHEAL.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those?
So I can tell you.
Go on.
So I've used both as well.
Yeah.
From, I can't remember what her name is. Dr. Rhonda Patrick?
I know who you're on about.
I would say. She's like high up there when it comes to dietitianists. From what she did when she actually did a study on AG1 and any other greens powder, is it can add, similar to a multivit, it will add to the nutrition you already had. But if you don't eat any greens and you're trying to make that the added bonus of like, oh, I don't need to eat greens, I'll have AG1 instead, she's pretty much completely debunked that. Like, so again, sometimes I still take multivits, but it's similar to those. Again, it's in the word, it's a supplement.
I was literally about to make this point. I think people need to understand when you're supplementing with something, you're not replacing it. No. You are adding to what you're already doing.
Yes. So I would say if you're someone that exercises a ton, needs a ton more recovery, you eat plenty of veg, but you're like, let's just trying to get some more nutrition from vegetables, but I don't want to eat more. Yeah. Then I'd probably go with like an AG1. Again, a complete newbie at the gym or someone that doesn't really know or need it, probably not. I wouldn't suggest it. Again, the main three would be a protein powder, creatine, and omega-3s.
That's your three. You heard it.
Obviously, if you're someone that's really like exercising and trying to compete in CrossFit, blah, blah, there are other supplements out there which have some studies that show that they do benefit.
Deca, Anavar. Joking, by the way.
For cardiovascular benefits in particular. But if you're just the average person, just wants to be healthy and just wants to build muscle, that's all you you literally don't need anything else. Don't go on Holland & Barrett, spend like 300 quid on every supplement under the sun. Just literally omega-3s, creatine monohydrate, the most simple form, and whey protein. And if not, a vegan blend.
A blend.
That's it.
That's your useless supplements.
Yeah. So everything else, in my opinion, again, some are more specific, but you don't need more than those three.
Stop wasting your time.
And money.
So, point number 3, and we get this all the time. I see it all the time on social media. People debunk it or they upbunk it. Just spit straight facts. If you want the point and you're asking us, is cardio better for fat loss? No.
I literally had this question this morning.
It's one of the questions I hate. Like, I don't think the question makes sense. Is cardio better for fat loss? Than what? Than eating right? Than strength training? Than driving your car? Like, I hate the question. Yeah,
it's the wrong question to ask in just general. But I think most people look at the old school approach of I need to lose fat, I'm going to run more and eat less, right? Which, if you looked at it on a piece of paper and you looked at your 2,000 calories a day, I burn 500, I eat less than 500, call it a 1,000 calorie deficit. It looks like it should be right, but typically it's not. I was literally listening to a podcast on my phone. I posted it on my story today with a comedian on Chris Williamson, where basically his nutritionist, and I've done this, I'm sure you've done this with clients, upped his calories.
Yeah, reverse.
Increased his strength training output. So rather than like a day a week, it was like 3 days a week. Basically reverse diet, like you were just about to say. He lost 20 pounds and gained like 5 pounds in lean mass by eating more.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Okay, so is cardio better for fat loss? The real answer, the real question should be, what should I do to lose weight?
Yeah. Or
cardio is an element of that.
Yeah, like what's the best way for me to get in good fat loss?
Yes.
Yeah.
And cardio absolutely is an element of that. But that doesn't mean 5 days a week HIIT training or...
Tom Saruga.
Yes, Tom Saruga. It doesn't mean 5 days a week HIIT training. It doesn't mean I'm going to run 10 kilometers 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Just literally, you can go on to how you would do it. What I literally said to this person this morning when they asked me, I said, look, when I'm with a client, so they've got a 12-week fat loss thing, right? The first 8 weeks, I don't even add cardio in except for steps. It would literally just be, if you try and get some more steps a day. Apart from that, that's the cardio. Apart from that, strength training 2-3 days at minimum a week, and then your calories. Just literally reduce your calories, losing roughly about 0.5 to 1 kilogram a week. For most people, if you're a bit bigger, then probably a little bit more than that, probably up to 2. Every single week. And then after about those 8 weeks, we've got about 4 weeks left of the cut. I can use cardio as a tool for those last 4 weeks if I want you to lose a bit more weight. So like, okay, cool. Our calories now are actually a bit too low for me to reduce them any further. But guess what? We haven't done any cardio now. I can actually increase your output through this method and make you on another 300 calorie deficit a day just by making you do some cardio.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It seems that simple, right? But obviously it's easy when you know what you're talking about. But so I would have done it exactly the same way. So the first thing I would ask someone if they're on like a fat loss journey or weight loss journey is obviously you got the how, why, when do you need it, right? All of that. But it's okay, cool. How much are you eating? 9.999 recurring times out of 10, they say I don't know. Yeah. Or it's about that. Okay, well, are you tracking? Are you actually looking how much you're putting into your body? No, I don't like that. It makes me obsessive. Well, why do you want to start a weight loss journey if you're not going to be obsessive about something? Like, I don't mean in an OCD bad way, but if you don't know how much you're eating, how can I get you losing weight? Because I don't know how much you're eating. I can't tell you to eat less if I don't know how much more is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you agree with that. So like, if you're telling me, yeah, I've been tracking for ages, blah, blah, then I know what your daily habits look like. If you're in around 2,500, we'll drop it by a little bit, 250 calories. We'll see. If you drop more than 2 pounds a week for a couple of weeks in a row, I'm like, cool, we're way too low. Your body's obviously adapting to it quite well. Mm-hmm. But if it's 1 to 2 pound a week, that's the normal standard rate, which is what we're looking for. Yep. And when that stops, we pull it a little bit more. And obviously for men and women, that's going to be slightly different. And as you said, once we get to that lowest point in that deficit, if I'm not going to take you back up to, add on muscle mass and body composite yourself, then we're going to increase your cardio intake. It's as simple as that, because then you're losing more calories. Your neat calories and your activity expenditure is going higher, whilst your calories are going to stay the same, but you're burning more. So your composition goes up, calories go up, but you're eating less, so you're going to weigh less.
It's literally, that is the blueprint. If you're looking to lose weight right now, you've got 12 weeks, we're literally just giving you the answer. That's
simple.
What you do. That's all you do. Just whatever your calories are, like Shane said, keep reducing bit by bit, roughly losing that much weight. Yeah. And then we've got a few weeks left before the holiday, or whatever you're trying to lose the weight for, increase cardio.
Yeah.
It's literally that simple. Now,
simple.
If you're just genuinely want to be fit, 100% you should be doing cardio.
Yeah, I don't see how cardio has become this massive weight loss thing in terms of, it's better for me to lose belly fat, let's say.
Yeah.
Scientifically, it actually doesn't. Depends what way you're looking at this. And also, why are you looking at that instead of, will cardio help my lung capacity and performance in a 5K run?
Yes.
That's what cardio is designed for.
Literally, what's the number one killer? Heart disease, right?
Yeah.
The best way to increase your heart rate, everything, is through cardio. So absolutely, you should be doing cardio, 100%. But you should, again, like you said, we shouldn't be looking at it as a way of fat loss.
No.
But we should be looking at it as, no, I'm doing it to be fitter. I want my lungs to be better. I want my heart health to be better. And guess what? When you've got better cardio, your strength training will be better. You have a better output. You won't be breathing heavy after a set of bicep curls. That's literally it. And then the food for me is what controls your fat loss, your muscle gain. That's where it matters. And then, yes, calories in, calories out. Again, that blueprint, it absolutely is real. But again, all calories are not created equal. I was literally saying to Shane earlier before we started filming, right? Forgot my meal prep today.
Yeah.
Okay. You can literally tell a difference between when I've meal prepped, and it's literally the same thing. Okay, it was chicken chow mein. I made chicken chow mein last night. I got a ready meal chicken chow mein.
Yeah.
Same amount of calories.
Bit different.
Roughly the same amount of macros, but I can literally tell you that would have filled me up versus this.
Yeah.
And the only difference was this was made all from whole foods, and I had a bit more vegetables in there versus a ready meal, not as much veg.
No.
The calories though, literally exactly the same, but I'm still hungry.
Yeah, I've seen so many, like you say, studies, videos, research on this as well. It's like the calories and the macros that you're putting into your body can be exactly the same. So Luca's 2 meals have had the same amount of protein, same carbs, same fat, same calories. Fine, cool.
Yeah.
But they're not equal in terms of health, well-being, how full up you are, because yours would have been like whole meal, you've added the vegetables, so now you've got micronutrients in there, you've got your vitamins, you've got your minerals, you've got clear, good standard part of protein that you've cooked yourself fresh, no oils, no butter, no sugar, not excess amounts of salt. That's a better meal, a complete meal when it comes to the microscopic things we're talking about in terms of when you go to like ready meals and going out and eating. Yes, they can be the same quantity of meal, but they are two different things you're putting into your body for internal benefits and that fitness sort of health lifestyle you're looking for.
100%. And again, what's the number one thing we're doing when we're losing fat is we don't want to be hungry.
Yeah.
And if there's a meal out there which is going to make me not hungry, I'd rather that, because I'm on a cut at the moment,
100%. Versus
a meal which is going to make me hungry an hour later.
Yeah, it's like there's a video, Jeff Nippard was on a training video with somebody, and they say about the 110 calorie apple and 110 calorie worth of sweets. Yeah, they're exactly 110 calories, same carb intake, same sugar intake, but the apple has your micronutrients and is going to fill you up for longer.
Yes.
And the sweets are going to make you want to crave more because they're an addictive sugar, which is like literally the same as every drug under the sun. So you're going to keep going at them. And also what you're going to overeat on. You're not going to have a second apple. And if you do, who cares? I could go through 4 packets of Sour Patch Kids easily. So it's that addiction that then you can have more and more of that bad sugar. So yes, they're the same quantity, but what one's actually going to look after yourself for a longer period of time? Well, the apple is compared to the sweets, even though the calories and the macros are going to be exactly the same.
100%. That's literally, again, we're dropping some bombs today, guys.
Yeah, so it always goes down to the quality of food you're eating.
Like, honestly, like, if you don't know what you're doing, if you literally just listen to this video, like, you're kind of sorted.
I hope so.
No, like, honestly, like, you don't even have to hire us at this point. Like,
no, we don't. Don't need to pay us. This is free information.
Like, this is literally, like, if someone wants to lose weight, that's literally what you have to do.
It's done.
And again, like, breaking it down even easier is just think of it in terms of what does fill you up more. And all of a sudden you can think to yourself, okay, like, I actually put my whole day's food today on my thing, even including the ready meals, right? It's like for breakfast, eggs, lots of eggs, lots of fruit, like a lot of fruit, a bowl of blueberries, strawberries, and oranges, okay, with some sourdough bread, right? Next meal was sushi with a protein bar, so like a more smaller meal. Meal 3 with my chicken chow mein, and I'm going to get back home and actually have the chicken chow mein that I made this evening, right? If you look at it in that perspective, you can literally just follow that diet if you want to do. Obviously adjust the macros, but it's that simple. Yeah. Again, each meal is roughly 40 grams of protein. Done. Like, you literally hit it. Like, guys, just follow that plan.
Follow this video.
Right, what's the last one?
Right, one more. So we are going into 4th fitness basics 101. Calorie counting, is it overrated?
It's kind of links into what we were just talking about, I guess. What are we saying? I've got 2 minds on this one.
Fitness, no. Weight loss, yes.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you're looking at a performance outcome, so I'll take myself for an example. Fitness outcome for me at the moment, Luca keeps telling me you need to keep tracking, blah, blah, blah. I visually see what I'm eating. I'm maybe not eating enough, that's why I'm looking at tracking. But also, as long as I get like 6 meals in a day, I have my pre and post workout in and around. I've got my quick carbs, slow carbs, and like 200 grams of protein. I know I'm on a safe bet of my day. And probably quite a high fat, because CrossFit is eat fats. Whereas if I was trying to lose weight, get cut for summer, or way back when I was like 13, 14, I was a chubby kid, I was tracking every single day. I don't think I missed anything, because that's when I need to know how much is going into my body compared to how much I'm burning, which is different to a performance aspect, because very rarely do you get a high performer in a sport in a calorie deficit who's tracking. Yeah. But you can also track to be on par your calories or over your calories. Of course you can.
I'd say I'd agree with you pretty much 100%. I'd say with performance, like unless you are so in tune, or you have a nutritionist literally giving you exactly the food to eat every single day, like you need to be tracking. Like if you're competing in CrossFit, if you're competing in any sport, like realistically, the main reason more than anything is the recovery.
Yeah.
Like you need to be eating enough.
100%.
You've eaten enough protein, you need to be eating enough carbs, fats, micronutrients, saturated fats, everything. Like you need to be eating enough. That for me is why you'd want to track every single day, because especially if you're an athlete that needs to make a weight cut, like a fighter or a powerlifter, a bodybuilder, bodybuilding specifically, you're trying to get down to 5% body fat or less. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to count.
You need to know exactly what's going into that body.
And the only people that don't, from my knowledge, is again, like I said, you got a professional nutritionist literally telling you, eat this, eat this.
Yeah.
The nutritionist is calorie counting for you.
They've done it on every single
but
meal
you're
plan.
not calorie counting.
Yeah, 100%.
When it comes to fat loss, yes. So I'd say it all depends on how lean the person's trying to get. I think when you first start off, 100%, you should at least calorie count for like the first couple months. Just purely, just to know, as you said as a kid, to know what is inside your food.
Yeah.
So many people say, I've eaten so much protein today, oh my God. And it's like they've eaten one egg, half a chicken breast, and then like some baked beans for dinner.
And they're on like 70 grams of protein.
If that,
If
right?
that.
And they're like, oh my God, that was so much. Or like, they're saying, oh no, I didn't eat much at all today. I'm like, okay, look, track, 3 Starbucks later, whatever else later. 3,000 calories. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, this is why we count.
That's why.
Cool. In that retrospect, 100%. When it comes to just fat loss, for me, it all depends on how lean you're trying to get to. I think as a male, if you're trying to get to below 20%, do you need to calorie count? No. I just think if you just make the smart choices of nutrition, you train hard, strength training wise, you'll naturally, unless you're really unlucky, be below 20% body fat. You just naturally be there. And you'll probably be eating about 3,000 calories a day and be pretty damn
Still
lean.
be all right.
If you're trying to get to like less than 15%, unless you're really genetically gifted and just naturally incredibly lean, yeah, you're probably going to have to, if not calorie count, have some form of tracking.
You need to sort of, even if you visually track, is what we call it sometimes. Like obviously, we would know how much sort of nutrients in a plate of food if we were to look at it, right?
Yeah.
So you can sort of tell what and when you're eating when you're having it.
Yeah, I'd say that's the only time that probably calorie counting is a bit overrated in terms of just trying to get a little bit leaner.
Yeah.
Women trying to get below 30% body fat. It's actually kind of easily done from just strength training a few times a week, eating relatively clean. So you're still conscious of what you're eating. You're just not counting those calories. You're probably going to be below 30% after like 6 months, realistically, unless you're obviously starting at a very heavy set point.
That makes it.
But if you're naturally 31% body fat, you probably get down to like 29% by just eating relatively healthy and
doing the basics. Eat a little bit less, make smart choices, and work your arse off.
Yes, I think honestly, hard training, consistent training, and then 80% of the time get the nutrition right. Yeah, you're going to look better than 90% of the population.
It'll be fun.
That's the realistic scenario.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Anything else?
No, all good from me until the next one.
I honestly think that's probably, hopefully, a lot more of you watch this one, but like one of our more informative videos in terms of actually just, if you just follow this advice, you'll get some damn good results. As Shane said earlier, like, comment, subscribe. As Shane said again, we're building up to this year. We're trying to make it a lot bigger, so bear with us. Probably got a few more episodes like this, and then lots of studio episodes, hopefully throughout the year, with some little surprises here and there too. Cool.
Sweet. Thank you very much, buddy.